Good morning, Julie.
Hello.
Fine, and I think what we'll do this morning is, with your permission, we'll go around and have you introduce us to some of the things, because you know these as they were created at the time. I must point out that's a lovely gown you have on there with that. Can we see the whole thing? Oh my goodness. With the eye as well. It's very beautiful.
The eye and tears.
Marvelous. Very good. Oh, the mirror. What's the title of this one? Do you know?
Self-portrait.
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 Meaning everyone's self-portrait? Is that?
Everybody.
Everyone's self-portrait.
All you have to do is just put your finger in the middle here.
Mm-hmm.
Your portrait is taken.
I see.
But he painted all this around the screen.
Very nice. One could see the distortion of another work in the back, the hangers. And then man did one of himself in here, and here we see
Yes,
him.
it's right to the side here. And it could go on into infinity. Just add 2, 4, 6, 8 to do.
As I recall, wasn't this is a very early example of a mobile, you know, predating Calder, I think. By this was 1920, and then finished, I think, in 1964. But it's a very handsome moving object.
Oops. Whoops.
Marvelous. This is the instructions for assembling the obstruction, as he called it. It says you begin with one hanger attached to the ceiling and 2 holes at the extremity of the hanger. Introduce the hooks of 2 more hangers. Into these you hook 4 more hangers, etc. And one can read it fully here. Here he has gone on to make a drawing of the same idea. Real man did make chess sets, because I know he played with Duchamp. He played with all of his friends.
Oh, yes, I think one of the earliest ones, 1916, which he did in New York, out of cones, and that was his first set.
Well, these were done in Hollywood, weren't they?
This was done in Hollywood.
And he, at that time, had a young craftsperson who turned the wood for him, as I recall.
But turned the wood and
made the marquetry board.
And that's it.
Good, fine.
Right.
This is, I think, part of an edition, and oh no, I'm sorry, this is a unique one. There were editions later on of others, weren't there?
No, this must be about 3.
There must be 3 in this one. That's fine. This is a featherweight. In masks, and the photo, of course, is by man, and this is a masquerade. And now we'll go over to some of the masks which were made in papier-mâché at that time, of a series of 5 that are in the ensemble, including some of the individual photographs that man made at the time. Julie, this is in bronze, and it's painted bronze, isn't it? This particular one is part of a. It has a title. What is it?
It's called.
The original was in.
Broom.
It was a broom itself.
Yes.
And then he has. This is part of an edition. Mm-hmm. Small edition. Yeah. Okay, fine. But it's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Weighs very heavy.
I would have your dress now. Where was that done? Was that done here, or was it done in France?
My dress?
Yeah.
Oh, in Paris.
In Paris. Great.
Especially for this exhibition.
Delightful. Fine. Directly behind you are a series of photographs of the cadeau. Okay.
Means presents.
Presents. Mm-hmm.
And the red one is called Red Hot. Mm-hmm. And the silver one is called Far Allah.
That's spelled P-H-A-R-E, isn't it?
Like far, it's a lighthouse.
Oh, it's a lighthouse. I see. Fine. Okay. And this one photograph there is of an electric iron.
Yes, in the early 40s he couldn't find
Fine.
and flat iron from France. They just, it was the idea of putting the tax on, so he got this electric iron. Labrador, it means, it's an old ancient book. Cut out, there's a box, and there's a mirror, and you could put jewels or you could put makeup. Look at it.
Those books, I see, cut out with the center of it
Yes.
cut out.
The word Livrador,
Livrador.
which is a book where everybody signs,
Oh, I see.
and this is Lèvres, lips of gold.
Man did a great deal of that so-called play or pun on words if one
yes.
wishes, and with great success, because I noticed that his facility with both French and English. At times one reads them, and if you read them in a very special meaning for those familiar with the language, with the English language. All right, now if we can get you over near the lamp. Can you see if you can get the light on the
I
lamp?
think I'm going to put on another pair of glasses.
Okay, that's good.
Oh,
We don't need to, not too close, you are.
Jim, get the back of the book.
I will. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the title.
There.
I forgot that. This was made in Hollywood, and he signed it in 1946 with his initials. But you say initially it had, when he first did it, it came with red and green bulb at the top.
Yes, for the Bill Copley and Gloria. It had green and red bulbs. That was easy, you know, Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently somebody changed it into white lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, now it has these winged lights on, which make it interesting as a piece of sculpture, I'll say that.
Well, then it's good. Maybe green and red was just one night for Christmas.
That may be, well, I know it's in the photograph in which you were all getting ready to leave for Europe at the time. Those forms from the violin in this case.
Yes, with hair on it.
And this is called what?
The silent harp.
Silent harp. This is a unique object, isn't it?
Unique, this
Yeah,
one.
fine.
And there's another, I have one, it was in silver, made in Italy.
You have one in silver?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Fine. This has the bowstring.
This is original.
This has the bowstring coming down, and it's like the Emak-Bakia that. Where's the other one in Museum of Modern Art? As I recall, is that right? Yeah, from the
yes,
from the bowstring.
The violin.
Mm-hmm.
And the Emak-Bakia has more or less a cello head.
I was going to ask you, what does where does the title come from?
From the
Emak-Bakia.
film he made called Emak-Bakia.
I see. And that title, do you know where that might have originated?
It originated, it's Basque.
Basque.
And his friends had a house, Basque country.
Mm-hmm.
And that was called, that means leave me alone.
That's a magnifying glass in there,
Yes,
if I recall.
to make the ball look large when it comes in small.
Oh yeah, it does, I guess, both intensify, make it large and small in a very short movement. There's a photograph
I
of the
suppose the
second.
hook is when it's big and illusion is when it's very sexy.
Yeah, very fun. And that pan bleu, is this one?
Well, they didn't call it pan bleu, they called pan.
Pan, aha.
Painted bread, it means
Painted
French.
Yeah.
But in English, I had
Well, then
for bluebirds.
and also then the word PAIN has another sort of implication as well for pain.
Pain.
But I remember, as I say, I remember the one that he had with the 3 loaves of bread on the scale.
Yes.
Is that still surviving? Do you have that in the
I have
studio?
1 loaf.
Is that all that survived?
That's all.
Good. Now, title or date is at it, and it's made of a wheel and a caster. Julie, this is made in metal, I think, isn't it? It's aluminum?
Yes, it's painted metal.
Mm-hmm.
He painted it. Okay.
Is it, these really derive from a spiral
Yes,
lamp.
there's his signature.
The signature and
It says the date, 1956.
1956. Mm-hmm. Yes. And they derive pretty much from, he did, the earlier things he did were in sort of parchment, and they were like lampshades, weren't they?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the original one for the Anonime Society,
Mm-hmm.
the janitor threw it out on paper. He thought the stand was the original object. The man had to quickly get a piece of tin, paint it white, and twist it. It looks, he said, now let's see them throw that out.
I'm sure that's been the fate of some of them, but it's, I'm sure he was amused that...
Well, yes, but Catherine Dry wasn't.
I'm sure Catherine wasn't. Mm-hmm. Now, directly behind you or to your side there, I see, is that the smoking device I see in the
Yes,
case?
it's smoking. Well, we can't take anything out of it.
No, it can't.
You put a bit of smoke in this end and it comes out the other end.
He was a pipe smoker, wasn't he?
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a pipe stand, actually.
Was there an edition of this, or is this a unique one?
Yes, there was a small edition by Schwartz.
Mm-hmm. By Schwartz in Italy. Mm-hmm. Table for Two, isn't it, Julie?
Yes, Table for Two.
And it was in the Julian Levy exhibition, as were a number of others, including the...
I don't know if you recall in California, 1944, there was a gallery that showed all of Man Ray's objects.
In 44?
And that was,
I don't... do you remember what gallery it was in 44?
I think it's just called Gallery. And it was on Sunset, perhaps.
I don't know that one.
He had the automobile.
Oh, yes. Is what, in bronze with ivory, and it's called what?
Le Mans.
Le Mans?
Ray.
Le Mans Ray. And in this case, it's spelled M-A-I-N, Ray. Very fine. And the one next door to it is this one here with in the bottle,
It's called La Manche or La Manche.
Now, I don't know how that translates into form. And the one here directly behind you, to the side here.
Simple title, Apple and the Screw.
Good, you're supposed to get the review yet? You got the big review yet?
It's an original one of...
Yes. Mr. Knight and Miss Ford, after a poem by Rennie Clavel, the surrealist writer.
Well, I gather that's all been resolved. Yes. Well, you've done so much for the museum and given so many wonderful things, and I know we're all looking forward to the exhibition, so.
This is Mr. Knife and Miss Fork. This one belongs to Naomi Savage, who is the niece of Man Ray. It's the original of 1944. And there was an edition done, and this is an example of the edition. And this is an edition of proof numbers 3 or 4. I'll take an overall view of another segment of the exhibition. To give some idea of the arrangement of the show. This is the lifesaver.
Deborah, if you can't get in here, call me again.
The eye has always figured very prominently in man's paintings and sculpture. Here we have one in the metronome, which is an object to be destroyed. A number of man's photos in the exhibition. And from time to time we were able to include a few of them. Drawing for the dumbbells. As one can see, man did a very meticulous job in presenting them, and then had some craftsmen cut them out, make them up for him. Here are the originals, which are in lignum vitae. An edition made, and this one is number 6 of 18. Springtime. And again, an edition of this was made, as were a number of these things in the exhibition, and they were done largely, the editions were done in the late 60s, early 70s. This work called Self-Portrait, and as one sees here, even the camera and cameraman are able to take the portrait. There's a 1929 by man, and it's lent by the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, and it was a gift of James Thrall Silver. It's a gelatin silver print. These lips, of course, served as the base, really, for one of the, in which here we have the painting with again, this is a photograph, I'm sorry, of the painting lips together with the model reclining beneath it, and the chess set, one of the chess sets in aluminum, I believe this one is. And the same painting with the model in a different pose beneath it, and the chess set here a little more evident than in the other photograph. Photograph of the one of a number of variants on the chess set that man did. Table for Two, which is an original work of circa 1944, and it's an assemblage. is the lifesaver, which was made of driftwood, done in California, at Malibu, I believe, at the home. It was done for Mary Wesher. And the cork itself comes from beachcombing where a lifesaver, a life preserver had broken up. And there's an actual lifesaver in the center of the black disc there, which is partially chewed. And our conjecture is that he may have had some meaning for the ball, which suggests that, you know, one ball, one testicle is a lifesaver if you've lost the other. Non-Euclidean, this is one of a edition.
Nice to meet you. How are you? At the National Museum of American Art.
Julie, this is an original.
Yes, this is an original of Mr. Knife and Miss Fork, and it's taken after a poem of Rennie Crevel, same title. This object belongs to Naomi Savage.
And she's man's
niece.
niece.
But she's a famous photographer.
On her own, yes. Right. And next to it, of course, is an example of an edition, right?
Yes.
And
Very This is the indestructible object. It's a metronome. That when it works, goes back and forth. It's the eye of a beloved.
then there's another one
No,
here.
that's also called the indestructible object.
And then, wasn't there one?
The object to be destroyed has been destroyed.
Well, that has already been destroyed. I say, fine, that's marvelous. Because
It was also a metronome with an eye.
one of the one I'm looking at here, the one we're looking at now, is an early one. I think it's signed and dated in the 20s. No, 1963 is an indestructible.
This is 1965.
And the other one is 1965.
Give the word.
Fine, all right. Just that it is the clay pipe with a glass blown bubble and signed along the stem of the pipe.
And they first made it in 1918,
I see.
and then it was destroyed.
The original one was
What was
destroyed?
the title? Did you just?
Yeah, The Enigma of Isidore Ducasse.
Yes.
And I think this one's dated 1920-1971. And then there would have been an edition of these, is that it? I guess there must
Two or
have
three.
2 or 3, a small edition. But my goodness, when you think of how updated this becomes, you know, when one thinks of Christo and his tying up of objects, and then of Joseph Beuys with the felt and
They wrap around.
and the wraparounds. And these were done in 1920. It shows how much man was in many ways a pioneer well before his time. An original photo by man of 1936 called Venus Restored. And obviously, we have the same sort of bound figure that we've just been looking at in the Enigma of Isidore Ducasse.
He wants me to stand there.
Catered egg. And above it are two photos. Oh, and right above your head is an ostrich egg, a photograph of Manchester.
Oh, yes.
Of an ostrich egg. It's really a perfect object in itself. Now this one is titled Lifesaver, is that it?
Yes, yes, it's Lifesaver, and there pieces of cork, driftwood.
I think it was cork, and it's a play on that same word because he used an actual sort of semi-chewed lifesaver, that little white circle in the center. And then as we were conjecturing that the one ball, the one testicle might be good for somebody with a kidney problem or something, so that would be a lifesaver. That was done in 1944.
44.
And I think it was done at Malibu, probably when
Mary Vescher
was there. This is one of her pieces. This one is
called a non-Euclidean object.
Non-Euclidean object.
And it's metal, but the first one, the original, was made in paper.
It was made in paper.
With the pipe being tool.
And this was made in an edition, an unnumbered edition, I think of 10 or so in 1973. There's a photograph above your head which relates to it in terms of the idea anyway.
It was made of wood, but this is all mixed media metal, and there's a magnifying glass, which is not magnifying.
It's a reducing glass.
A reducing glass. And the type of the object is called, it's a small wood.
Yes,